really appreciate, really do. And you know what? Let's really dive into it. I'm going to make a series about this, but let's actually see the video about and what really triggered this man and how it did. Because mind you, these apps don't want the truth out either. So it literally has 4 likes, but 21 comments, which is all his.
I'm a feminist. I can see men and I don't immediately feel threatened.
I'm a feminist and self-defense instructor, and if a woman feels threatened by a man, there's typically a good reason.
I'm a feminist. I can actually cook.
I'm a feminist. I like to cook and bake, and I'm pretty damn good at both.
I'm a feminist. I don't hate children.
I'm a feminist. I love children, and I'm so glad I get to choose when I'm ready. I'm not a feminist. I can wear dresses and feel pretty. I'm a feminist. I love looking pretty and wearing dresses, but I'm also glad I won't get arrested for wearing pants.
That part right there. I won't be arrested for wearing pants. Most men don't even realize the lack of rights that we really did not have. Or actually, maybe they do, and they like it that way. Because as this man continues to make comments, we start to see his true character. So I am going to read them to you. Lucas decides to leave a comment stating, after 6 hours, I'm posting the first comment. I'm not putting a second like on this video. Feminism is a disgrace to humanity. Why are you gaslighting? He proceeds. I like your content. I'm not gaslighting. Just wanted to show you that nobody engaged because we all know what disservice this movement has been to society. Alongside the alphabet soup letters movement, you should know how the human race, biology speaking, works. Not that men are superior to women, but each gender has a unique role for within the human race survival. Women want to work, fine, but don't forget who you are and what you were created by God. Should men adopt female roles? Oh, this is complete gaslighting. Tell me you haven't watched the video without telling me, obviously. As for roles, your opinion is just that, yours. I completely disagree, and I know who I am. You are also perpetuating the narrative of the elite's control systems. He proceeds to say, you see, both of your answers were vague. This is going to be long, by the way. I'll try to read it as fast as possible. You see, both of your answers were vague, and just so you know, 99% of bricklayers are men. This is just one category of physical work men do. So how about the feminists looking for equality? Apply for most of the jobs men do. Instead of wanting to climb the corporate ladder and become CEOs only, try to be boss babe. Does he know who he's talking to? Men do all the hard jobs to provide a better life for women, not because of us. If the world was only populated by men, we would live just fine. Just like you see a whole bunch of men enjoying spending time in the woods, not doing anything but fishing and hunting, I think women nowadays are ungrateful. Back in the days, only the ones who served in the military, went to wars, were allowed to vote. Guess who they were? Men. Women stayed home because we were much rather die in combat than put you in harm's way. We allowed women to vote. We opened up for women to become part of the workforce, even knowing financially there was going to be a loss in revenue. All of women's sports are sponsored by the men's sports. Since women's sports do not generate enough revenue to be self-sustained themselves, do a little research. The list goes on and on. All investors were men. Most of the inventions were made to make women's life easier. There's so much more, but let me allow you to say something. I think feminism is a waste of time. Oh my God, how much I could dissect that. In just one thing right there in the loss in revenue financially, did you ever think of pink tax? Because pink tax is where we actually pay more money for all of our stuff and we actually do most of the shopping. And this is why men are trying to be women and join our sports to beat the shit out of us. But you're right. Anywho, how'd I digress? That was off the cuff. I didn't say that to him. I just literally just responded, I'm a veteran. So instead of him actually hearing that, seeing that, because he's now gaslighting me and trying to look for a weakness of something that's actually going to irritate me somehow, some way, because I posted something that triggered him, and rocked his bubble. He literally said, so what? Do you know history at all? Good Lord, you're able to vote, therefore. I'm like, gaslighting. And there's more. It gets better. As I stated previously, I followed you for spiritual content, aside for you being very cute. But as civil matters, we are indeed crashing bit times. I am a conservative and I stand on my views. Men were created to lead, not the other way around. This point of view is not taking away the importance of women in our lives. In a world only with men, we would totally survive. On the other hand, women can't even hunt, but if they can, not as efficient and fast as men could. It's nature. The feminism movement is just a sabotage to the traditional values that brought us together at this point. I write back. This is absolutely hysterical that women with any power or privilege triggers you. Follow me for spiritual content. You, sir, are definitely not spiritual. Time to seriously look in the mirror at yourself. He proceeds, I bet I'm more than you are spiritually. Born and raised this way, it doesn't mean I have to agree with feminine whatsoever. I look at myself and I love who I am. Being a woman doesn't mean that you are less than a man. But we have roles, and it would be funny to have a world ruled by entitled women, since we all know you can't do half what traditional men do. This movement has its consequences, less women marrying, and at the end of your lives, living with 3 to 4 cats at the house, and complaining that there aren't any good men around. Again, triggered you are with the word feminist, and no one is looking for a man or is entitled. Keep gaslighting, it suits you, and shows your true color for all to read. Then he writes back, okay, so let's be fair. How about all the feminists work in construction, heavy outside work? That would definitely put an end to my arguments. I don't see that happening within this beautiful movement. Want equality rights? Do all the jobs men do. Don't ain't for a CEO or even just nurses. How about that? I'm like, you're not even in the conversation, are you? And then he writes back, quick question, do you even know the meaning of gaslighting? I'm not fighting or arguing with you. We're just having a discussion of different views. That's why you're so hostile. I write back, false. You are pushing your view, discrediting women. I am also done entertaining such nonsense because you, sir, are apparently lonely. Bye. And then he wrote back, you would be wrong. I have a non-feminist female, and you have no argument. Do all of the jobs that men do, and that way you can change anyone's mind. I'm a lost in the fact that that's even. I don't even know why that man took his time out to have a massive debate argument with me to get his point across because I triggered him. Because in all shape and honesty, why else would it matter? His opinion of me doesn't matter whatsoever. I see him for what he is, and I see what he was doing, and it's ironic to me that he thinks men can survive completely without women when women are the ones that gave birth to him. Anyway, I don't know. Put your thoughts in the comments and let's actually have a talk, because I think the more we talk and the more we actually are aware, the more we learn.